Alright guys, so this video is going to be a emotional one. Basically, by the time you're seeing this video, by the time it comes out on YouTube, I would have most likely sold the Suzuki Hayabusa. It was time to let it go, even though I had a really short time with it. Not because I didn't love it, not because I was bored with it, because let's face it, there's just so much more potential in the bike that I could have taken advantage of. But the truth is, a couple of reasons. The first reason, I have a brand new baby boy, an actual human boy. So that, raising a baby takes up a lot of your time. There's just no way that I can enjoy looking after my kid whilst thinking about going on rides, long distances with a Hayabusa. Secondly, I would not use the bike to its fullest potential because I would just be driving or riding daily in Singapore back and forth to work in heavy traffic. That's not great for the bike also. And third, in some ways I resent the previous owners for not taking care of the bike as well as I wish they did, because I noticed that a lot of the parts used were incorrect. So maybe at some point the bike fell, dropped, and then they had to replace a part, but they couldn't find the exact parts needed, so they used something else and then did like a hack job, which I really don't appreciate. I'm someone who wants something to be done properly, like use proper parts, genuine parts. I don't have to use the most expensive parts, but as long as it's the correct fitting. Also, I think I'm someone who appreciates these machines and not just, because I have money, I'll just let it go to waste. No, I don't do that. So anyway, I sold off the Suzuki Hayabusa. Hopefully someday I will be able to own one again, maybe, if I have like a windfall in fortune. But it's, for now, because I have this little baby boy, it would just be me going back and forth to work, or maybe like one JB run to get petrol or something. And I don't need a high performance sports bike for that. So what's new for me? If you're interested to see what I have now, take a look. So this is my Wuyang Honda CB190R. Alright, I got it for a pretty decent price. COE expires soon. There are mixed reviews about this bike, but I'll tell you why I like about it in the next part of the video. So this is just to go around the motorcycle and see what it's all about. Alright, the CB190R from Wuyang Honda. And I gotta say, the first thing that comes to my mind when I see this bike, or first thing that catches my eye, is how striking the shape of the bike is, even at standstill. So it doesn't look totally out of place if you were to take it to the track. I mean, I'm just saying, if you're out for a bit of fun on the twisty roads, I think this bike can do it in its own right. I mean, the position, you're relatively forward on the bike, and just that wedge shape of the bike, it has that style. But first things first, so it has a 12-liter fuel tank, which is very nice for a bike this size. For a commuter bike, honestly, it's not a scooter. I've ridden bikes with much smaller capacities than this, but with this bike, the 12 liters is a huge welcome. And I'll tell you why. Because at in Singapore riding with a mix of aggressive and traffic lights like this, I managed to get about 300 kilometers for every 6.5 liters of fuel. I've had the bike for a while now, and honestly, every time I fill up the bike, you know, I can clearly see the fuel inside, because when you look into the tank, you're looking directly into the tank. And I've only ever filled up 6.5 at a time. When I open the fuel tank, I can see there's a lot of fuel left. You know, you can see it shaking around in there. So, but I'm thinking, oh, maybe it's almost empty. But when I fill up, I get 6.5 liters all the way to the top, where, you know, you cannot fill anymore. It will just spill and go down the drain. So 300 kilometers for 6 liters, that's pretty distant going. Sorry, 6.5. So maybe about, you do the math, 300 kilometers is about 2 weeks of me going to work. So I work 5 days a week, that's 10 days in 2 weeks. So I can go 2 weeks without filling up, which is great. Because what I find here in Singapore is that petrol stations are not that conveniently placed. Like, I'm on the way to work right now, there is not a single petrol station along the way. I have to kind of like do a detour. So anyway, that's all good. It has a 1.3 liter oil reservoir to cool that engine, because it is a oil and air cooled engine. It's not liquid cooled. So what are the disadvantages? You know, oil cooled engines, they don't have as much horsepower, but honestly, on a CC this small, I don't think it makes much of a difference. But yeah, it's definitely, you know, one thing less to worry about. There's no coolant change. But yeah, 1.3 liters of engine oil, which is, I use 10W30 for this bike, according to the owner's manual. And I would say every fill up of oil, the bike only takes 1 liter, because 1.3 liters of oil is assuming the bike engine has been taken apart, overhauled, totally cleaned out whatsoever. But otherwise, a normal service, you need about 1 liter of engine oil. I've heard reports, and even from the previous owner, that he's had to top up oil every 1000 km or so, because he says that the bike eats up oil, which is not uncommon. Some bikes do that, and it's probably the reason why the engine oil filler cap, comes with its own dipstick, so you can check the level of oil. And so when you go to fill up the oil, you can actually check how much oil is left, or is it within the permitted amount. But I think I would just spend a little bit of money just filling it up with oil. Anyway, I'll just change the oil after 1,000 kilometers, which is about 2 months for me. Okay, and the engine oil is $16.50, I believe. You can get online. And the oil change is very easy. Just drain using the drain bolt. Take off the bolt. You might want to get a few spare washers. But yeah, the drain bolt, once you drain the oil, put it back on, then you refill with 1 liter of engine oil. Spare parts for this bike, I think, are not too difficult to get. I bought several items off WeBike Japan and WeBike Thailand already. And the items that I couldn't get, I bought from what's that place? Xiong Ike. Xiong Ike in over in what's that place? Jalan Besar, right? So tires for this bike are 110 70 17s and 140 70 17s. I think they're pretty common. I don't know why the rear wheel is so wide, but that's how it goes. The battery is over on the left hand side of the bike, right where my left little knee is, and all you have to do is just pop off the side panel and unscrew a few brackets, and then there's your battery right there. I have not yet need to change the battery. I think I won't do that unnecessarily. I'll just wait until it actually dries on me. If it does, touch wood, it doesn't. But anyway, the COE on this bike expires in November 2026, which means I won't be having it for very long. I don't intend to renew. The bike has done about 55,000 kilometers. I don't know, a bike of this quality, I don't know if I'll renew it. I don't think I will. Because renewing it for 5 years will cost about $5,000. And that's just dumb for this kind of bike. It's not worth $5,000 at all. So I might scrap it. Not scrap it, I might get someone to export it. Or if they want to renew it, they can go ahead and do that. What are you doing, mate? What are you doing? Alright, what's going on here? Alright, just spark plugs. So on the day that I picked up the bike from the previous owner, I made plans. I went to service the fork oils, service the fork oils, because I found out that there was no oil left in the forks, so there was nothing to bounce it back up. And that cost me a little bit of money. I don't know, because if it's they overcharged me, or it's because they said, oh, it's upside down forks, it's expensive to service, whatever. But I'm very happy to say that it's comfortable. Hasn't caused me any problems. And then a week later, I got the oil, spark plug, and air filter changed. Air filter is easy, just do it yourself. It's not expensive. The spark plug I need a little help with, because I don't have a torque wrench. Although I don't know if the guy who changed it used a torque wrench or not, actually. But so far so good with this bike. It's been treating me really well. Now, the previous owner said that he had to get the engine parts replaced, or parts in the crankcase replaced. He doesn't know what caused it, but he just said that while he was riding on the highway, all of a sudden the bike started to have a grinding sound, and he had to stop the bike. And the bike was obviously in the workshop for a few weeks, he said. Why? We don't know what part broke, because when an engine starts to go make that sound, it usually means a part is broken off. And I have a funny feeling it's the dipstick. Okay, that's it for today. I'll catch you guys later.